Okay, so get this. Today, we're going deep on deep work. Cal Newport's book. And it's not just like how to work better, it's kind of asking, what if the real win in this whole crazy tech world is actually like turning it off and focusing, really focusing?
That's a good point. People think tech solves everything, but maybe, like Newport says, we're so hooked on being connected, it's actually stopping us from, what we could really do.
Totally. Think about that guy, Nate Silver, the election predictions. Practically nailed 2012, right? And it wasn't just because he was good with numbers. It was like he could tune everything out and just focus on the data. That's deep work.
And it's not just him. The more tech changes jobs, the more this matters. Being okay at something, it's not enough anymore. You gotta be amazing, like top level good. That's where this deep work thing comes in.
Just like a secret skill, getting more and more valuable.
Exactly. Newport's whole thing is this digital revolution, it's two sides, right? Yeah. Amazing opportunities, but also crazy competition. If your work's just average, someone online will do it faster, better, cheaper, the whole deal.
So good enough is out the window. Got to be exceptional.
Yeah.
And that's the deep work part. But then, why is it so rare if it's that good?
That's what's so weird, right? Companies say they want amazing work, but then what do? Make it hard to actually focus.
Right. Think about it. Open offices, noise everywhere, always got to be on email, Slack, texts, everything. Then there's social media, got to be on there too.
It's like they're trying to make us distracted.
Exactly. And even if you realize it, hard to break free. Remember Jonathan Franzen, the writer, said Twitter is evil and got totally slammed online. But even him, a writer, he needs focus, but even he struggles with it.
It's tough. The book talks about why. Like 3 big reasons this distraction is everywhere. First, what he calls the cult of the new.
Okay, break that down. What's that mean?
Basically, if it's new tech, it's got to be good, right? But anything that means disconnecting, not being available, suddenly that's suspicious.
Like you should be on the latest app, not, actually working.
Exactly. Then there's the metrics black hole. We want to measure everything, but how do you measure being distracted? You can't.
Right. Easier to count emails than to measure, like, how good your work is when you're focused. Done.
Totally. So we focus on the easy stuff, even if it doesn't matter as much. And last, the comfort of busyness.
Oh, yeah. Like, if my inbox is full, I must be productive, even if nothing important's getting done.
The illusion. We think busy means good, makes us feel important. But are we making anything that matters? That's the question.
It's funny, right? The book talks about this blacksmith, Rick Furr, and he makes these amazing swords, like the real deal.
Yeah. Old school techniques, hand forged, the whole bit. It's incredible.
And he's like hammering away, metal, fire, the whole thing. Super intense work, right?
Yeah.
But he loves it. Finds this like deep meaning in it. And it got me thinking, because so much of what we do now is like on a screen, How do WA find that?
It's a great question, right? Like, how do we get that same feeling of, craftsmanship, even if we're not like blacksmiths?
Exactly. And I think that's where Newport brings up these 2 ideas about psychology that are really interesting.
Yeah, he talks about the attention economy. This woman, Winifred Gallagher, her idea, basically what we pay attention to, that's what our brain thinks is reality.
Whoa. So if we're always distracted, jumping around, notifications, all that, our whole experience of life is messed up.
Kinda. It's like we never really experience anything fully, just snippets, never the whole thing. But deep work, it's like, whoa, slow down, focus. And when you do that, suddenly you can shape how you actually experience things, make it more meaningful.
It's like taking back control. Instead of our phone deciding what's important, we decide.
Exactly. And then the other thing is flow state. Mahali's thing. That feeling? You're so into something, you forget time exists.
Oh, yeah, in the zone, right? It's amazing, but hard to get there.
Right. But deep work, that's the key. You focus, push yourself, and bam, you're in the flow. And they've done studies, it's not just a feeling. People in flow, they're happier, more creative, the whole 9 yards.
So it's not just working more, it's enjoying it more, too.
Exactly. Deep work, it's like this path to a better life, work, everything.
Okay, so we've talked about how great deep work is, but the world's trying to distract us.
No.
How do we actually do IT, like real tactics here?
The good news, it's a skill. Like anything else, you learn it, you get better.
I like that. So what's the first step? Any tips from Cal Newport himself?
He's got 4 rules. Now, you don't need to build your own, what's called eudaimonia machine.
The what now? You gotta explain that one.
Yeah, it was this whole thing. A friend of Newport's designed this building, like special zones, rituals, all to help you focus. A little much, maybe?
Yeah, not building that anytime soon. But point taken, environment matters.
Totally. But the other rules, those we can use. Rule #1 is work deeply. Sounds simple, but it means we only got so much willpower, So don't just try harder, design your work to make focusing easier.
Like set yourself up to win, not get distracted constantly.
Exactly. Like Neil Stephenson, the author, he goes full monk mode. No email, no social media, nothing when he's writing.
Whoa, hardcore. Not sure I could do that.
It's a lot. Newport does what he calls journalistic. He plans focus time, but if a chance pops up, he takes it. Be flexible,
Find what works for you, basically, but be intentional about it.
Exactly. Maybe it's an hour a day, maybe it's more. Make the time. That's the important part.
Makes sense. Okay, what's next?
Rule #2 is going to sound crazy. Embrace boredom.
Wait, what? We're supposed to be bored?
Hear me out. Our attention spans are shot, right? We can't handle quiet for 2 seconds without checking our phones. But that means we can't focus when we need to. It's like a muscle. Got to train it.
So we got to get comfortable with being a little bored sometime.
Yep, like going to the gym for your brain. The book talks about this guy, Pansel Ali. He's a memory champion, right?
Okay, but what's that got to do with this?
He trained his memory so hard, his focus got amazing. Like helped him in school and everything. It's all connected.
Okay, that's actually pretty cool. All right, rule #3.
This one's a doozy. Quit social media.
Yeah, I bet that goes over well.
Right. But it's not about like no tech ever. It's about choosing. He calls it the craftsman approach. Like, what are the tools you need for the job?
Okay, I like that analogy.
So you got to figure out what really matters to you. Is it Instagram? Or is it something else?
And if it's not helping you, cut it out.
Exactly. We say yes to all these tools, but do we ever ask what's the cost? Time, attention, our brains, basically.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly. There's this farmer in the book, Forrest Pritchard. He doesn't use certain equipment, even though it'd be easier.
Why not?
Because he knows, in the long run, it's bad for the land. It's the same with our phones, social media, all that. What's it doing to our minds?
So quit social media really means be smarter about it.
Exactly. Take back your time, your focus. That's what matters.
Okay, makes sense. Last rule, hit me.
Rule #4 is drain the shallows.
Okay, by shallows, we're talking about all those little things that eat up our time, right? Like not real work.
Yes. Emails that aren't urgent, meetings that could have been emails, all that. It feels like work, but it stops us from the real important stuff.
And that's the struggle, isn't it? We know deep work matters, but then, bam, a million little distractions.
Modern life. You can't get rid of it all, but you could be smarter. One thing, schedule every minute of your day.
Every minute. That's intense.
Sounds crazy, but it makes you aware. Like, where's my time going? Then you can choose better.
Take back control of the schedule instead of letting IT control you.
Exactly. Professor Donald Nagpal, he's in the book, super productive researcher, knows how to minimize the unimportant stuff.
Like say no more often.
Exactly. Every yes is a no to something else. Make sure you're saying yes to the right things.
So drain the shallows means be ruthless with your time. What really needs doing.
Yes. Deep work, it's not an accident, it's a choice. Got to fight for it.
And that's empowering, right? The world's crazy, but we have more control than we think.
Absolutely. How we work, how we spend our time, it's up to us, ultimately.
You ever notice? We talk about people like Bill Gates, right? It's always genius, works so hard, all that. But there's this other thing, and Newport mentions it, about Gates. The guy could focus. Like really focus. Back when Microsoft was just starting, chaos everywhere, and he could just block it out.
It's true. Deep work, it's not just an idea, it's how people actually did amazing things.
And it's not like he was born that way, right? He practiced it, protected it like it was valuable, which means we could too, maybe. It's not just for billionaires or whatever.
Exactly. Anyone can learn this. It's not some magic talent. It's tools, habits, anyone can use them. Doesn't matter what your job is, how busy you are, all that.
And now, with tech changing everything so fast, this deep work thing, it's only going to be more important.
Totally. Think about it. If you can focus, learn fast, do really good work, that's valuable. The world's crazy, but those skills, those are gold. It's like job security for the future almost.
So bottom line for everyone listening, why does this matter?
Because it's not just about getting stuff done, right? It's about what you're actually doing with your life, the quality of your work, finding meaning in it. Deep work, it's not a hack, it's how you live better. Work that matters, that's part of it.
That feeling when you're really into something, using your brain and it clicks, that's powerful.
Exactly. You create something, you SLV something because you focused. That's a good feeling, right? That's worth working for.
So last thought here. What if you really tried this? Made deep work part of your life no matter what? What could you do if you mastered that focus?
What could you build? What could you change? Everyone's got that potential. Sometimes you just got to shut out the noise to find it.